So what is going on, everybody? It's Thursday. You can tell we're not prepared. We're not in game mode here, but we will be. But welcome to the special episode of Texans Talking Continental Football with a very special guest that's going to be joining us tonight. And I don't want to give away too terribly much, but this gentleman has a very unique story that really caught my attention. So I don't want to blow the intro and say too much or say too little. So let's just do this. Let's introduce Mr. Anthony Ellison. He is the quarterback coach of the Texas Syndicate. So, Mr. Ellison, welcome to the show.
Oh, I think you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Nope, now we got you. Now we got you.
Okay, sorry about that. Thank you for having me.
All good, man. So, Anthony, thanks for joining us. You know, obviously this is kind of, a little different. We're normally a Tuesday show, but wanted to jump on Thursday and have you here. Why don't you just tell us about yourself, just kind of your history, man. Just where you went to school, where you played at, and just kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm. So again, I'm originally from Shreveport, but again, I was raised in Arlington, Texas, my whole life. Went through elementary, high school. I attended James Bowie High School for all 4 of my years. I originally committed to LSU as a running back in 2015. So once I went there, I went through all my workouts, whatever, and basically I was told I wasn't going to start until my senior year. So I decommitted and went to Boise State. So from Boise State, I committed as a receiver, and I did a year there. I left college early to go to the Canadian Football League. I did a season there, came back to the U.S. and played arena for about 2 years. So after those 2 years of arena, I was able to get on the practice squad with the Cowboys. I did half the season there.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so it was emotional, but
I'm a Cowboys fan, and sometimes I'm sorry about it too. But that's okay.
No, it was fine. So after that, I played a little bit more arena. After that, played in Mexico for a little bit. So I've been pretty much everywhere. So right now I'm at the point where I'm getting up in age. I can still play a little bit, so I want to continue playing, but now I want to kind of transition into coaching. This will be my first time coaching professional. I have coached high school in Austin. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Okay, very nice. So you said you played in the U.S., you played up in Canada, you played in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of what are kind of the differences in play? I mean, you played in 3 separate countries. What's it like? With just not just the game itself. Obviously, Canadian Football League has some different rules and stuff. Mm-hmm. Just like the fans, what are they like?
They're very obnoxious in Canada. Definitely
obnoxious.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely different than U.S. In Mexico, I want to say they probably had one of the best fan bases I've ever been a part of. They're very supportive, and the games was very packed. It was almost like a NFL stadium in Mexico. So,
really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I know you had said that the fans, you said in Canada were obnoxious?
Yeah, they're very, very obnoxious. They're very die-hard about their team, as well as out here, but they're definitely like that in Canada.
Do they like polite trash talk you and stuff? Because I don't see them being like just rude or anything.
No, I haven't gotten any rude vibes from them, but definitely a lot of trash talking.
I do hope you have a terrible game and your maple syrup is runny. That's kind of what I'm thinking that they would say, right? That's kind of about the best trash talk they would have.
I hope you have a rock in your shoe on the way to your car. I mean,
Yeah. And I can say that because my home state, Wisconsin, is basically right next to them. And so we've had to deal with them ourselves. Mm-hmm. And they're like the nicest upstairs neighbor you can ever have because you never hear from them. Like they just, unless it's hockey, they don't, they're nothing.
They're very big out there.
Yeah. I find it interesting though. You said that the fans in Mexico we're very passionate, very connected. How do you think, especially with the larger Hispanic community here in Central and South Texas, how do you think that's going to play into your experiences with the Continental Football League?
I feel like it might be the same, but it might be a little different since it's a new league starting up. So, you gotta get the fans to finally come out there and see how everything goes before they're able to just completely commit to it. Kind of like arena football, everybody wants to see how this team goes first before they start coming out and, becoming diehard fans because, leagues come and go. So they're trying to
Mm,
figure, it's a stable league. Everything is going afloat. Everything that I've seen so far, it seems pretty built. They have a good structure. So I don't see it just crashing down anytime soon.
mm-mm. And that's honestly one of the reasons why we've gotten on board is because, well, we have connections to the San Antonio Toros through our connections with the San Antonio Brahmas.
Mhm.
If you guys know anything about us, we're diehard Brahmas fans. I mean, I'm going to show it off, Brian. I'm sorry, but like I'm inked for life. Okay. Um, I paid my dues, and us having lost the team, it brings back painful memories. And by the way, BD, I'm sorry, I forgot to bring my banner. It will be revealed on Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Did we lose?
but
Did we
I
lose
think we
anyone?
lost video on Mr. Ellison. Um, are you there, sir? I think we lost video and audio.
Oh, he just dropped out.
Okay. Um, as we wait for him to come back on, let's try this again.
Sorry
Mr.
about that.
Ellison, there you are.
It's all right.
No, no worries. No worries.
Sorry, you know what? Sometimes I don't want to listen to his stories either. That's perfectly
Oh, no, you're
fine.
fine.
All right.
Sometimes I don't want to listen to my own stories. But the point is, here in South Texas, we have a unique battle that we have to deal with, which is having been taken advantage of by at least 10 different football organizations, not even counting the NFL with the New Orleans Saints and some of the other teases that we've had, like with the Raiders supposedly getting moved here and whatever
They
else.
try to tell us the Raiders are coming to San Antonio like every 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I've
So
heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that once. I'm pretty sure they're not, but that's a big move.
Yeah, no, long story. I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't have anything to do with Jerry Jones or anything else. San Antonio does not have the corporate structure to be able to support a professional football team. Our biggest corporate sponsor, which would be HEB or Holt, construction equipment, they're tied up in the NBA with the Spurs and things like that, the Rockets and the Mavericks and blah blah blah, whatever. Um, our even larger uh, corporate sponsor could be USAA, but they're tied up with the NFL in
Right.
general, right? So they're not supporting one specific team. Without their corporate dollars, we simply can't afford our tickets for nosebleed would be like $150, right? And nobody can afford that. That's just ridiculous. So, anyways, we're going to get off the whole, why San Antonio can't have a professional sports team in the caliber of the NFL. We're here to talk about you and the football. So,
Gotcha.
let's talk about you and the football. So, we asked you about kind of your history and everything. Um, you had mentioned something earlier that you had played arena ball and obviously professional, college, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Arena ball is a very unique game. And we've talked to your quarterback about this already. But how do you think your experience with professional football and with professional arena football is going to help you here in the Continental Football League?
Honestly, I would say the arena wouldn't help as much because of the difference of the game, especially coming from a quarterback. The game itself is just so different as far as the amount of players that's on the field, the size of the field, the plays, the reads. It's just completely different from a regular 11-man football in the arena. So I wouldn't bring as much experience from arena to the Continental League. So now my other professional background, college, I can bring in because it's all 11 man and the reads are the same, and it's just more. It's different.
So one thing you basically your position is a wide receiver, but
Right.
you're the quarterback's coach.
Right.
How does being a wide receiver help you kind of help the quarterbacks? I mean, is it easier to explain the routes, or just kind of how does that translate for you?
Well, when I played arena football, I did transition to QB. So I went from running back, receiver, and QB. Um, so I have experience playing professional at the QB level, and when I went to Mexico, I played
Okay.
quarterback as well.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah, but as far as playing both positions, I feel like I can get a better connection between the quarterback and his receivers since I've been in both positions.
Yeah.
So
That makes a
you
lot
got a
of
lot of receivers like, oh, you overthrew it, or you got the quarterback, or you just didn't run the route correctly, and so now I'm at both positions where I can tell them, hey, both of y'all either did this or who did what wrong, and try to help them both out.
excellent, excellent. So we're going to transition a little bit here, uh, and talk a little bit more about personal stuff because you have a very interesting story how you started out in Shreveport, went up to South Oklahoma there, and eventually wound up in no man's land in Central Texas. Um, but what got you connected with the Texas Syndicate and the COFL, especially up in the Central Texas Austin area?
Well, I was living in the Austin area at the moment. Um, and then when I saw the new league form, I saw the teams and whatnot. Originally, I was going to actually just come on as a player and still continue to play. But again, I'm getting up in age, and I know I probably maybe have maybe 4 more years left, 5 more years of football. So I wanted to transition to coaching, and then that's when I ended up contacting Quincy, and we went from there.
Okay,
I just want to say,
excellent.
every time you keep saying you're getting up in age and you're like 10 to 15 years younger than both of us, it hurts a little bit. I just want
Well,
to let you know that.
well, for football, age is different. So
Yeah.
26 is old in football.
Okay. And in all fairness, BD, it's 20 years difference between me and Anthony.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
I was trying to be generous for you.
Don't. I've earned every single one of these gray hairs. Okay. So Anthony, you're living in Austin now. What's it like up there for somebody who comes from, major metropolis area like Dallas that seems to, just have all this hustle and bustle to then go to the unique atmosphere that's Austin? And what do you like most about Austin?
It's definitely more quiet. Well, I stay in Georgetown, which is like,
Where did he go?
I don't know.
He does that sometimes, like what we said. He doesn't want to hear his own story, so sometimes he just drops off himself. So it's all right.
Um,
So you
I
said
want to say,
you're staying in Georgetown?
yeah, Georgetown is like 20 minutes from Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I know Georgetown because when I take the toll road to go around Austin every single time, that's where they drop us off at in Georgetown. I avoid Austin like the plague.
So, but I like it more out there. It's definitely more quiet and relaxing. It's not loud and obnoxious like the Dallas area or Arlington. Um, Now, the most I hate about it is the traffic. Like, the traffic is it's bad in Dallas too, but in Austin, it's like you have to leave almost an hour and 30 minutes ahead of time just to get 20 minutes down the street. So
Yeah.
that's just the biggest thing I hate about it.
So just kind of side note with that, you're absolutely right. I had some guys that were doing a training class at our office up in the Austin office. The hotel they were staying at was 3 miles, less than 3 miles away from the office. It took over 45 minutes to get there.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
Yeah, ridiculous.
So you are now residing in Central Texas. Have you had a chance to make it down to San Antonio here yet, by any
I've
chance?
never been to San Antonio.
Oh wow.
Okay. So I need you to do us and yourself a favor. I need you to come down here sometime. Specifically, go to a restaurant called Rolando's Super Tacos and have a breakfast taco
Okay.
down there. And then go back to your lovely Austin community, Georgetown, and then tell all your friends there in Austin that they have no idea what they're doing with breakfast tacos because we're the
Yeah.
king of breakfast tacos. Plain and simple. That's all there is to it, right? For those that are fans of the show, probably know about this. You will learn soon
Okay.
enough. Rolando Super Tacos is known for having breakfast tacos literally as big as the plate. So going in and ordering one is a chore. BD and I, here he is over here. We usually can put down two, but it takes a little bit of effort. But I'm telling you, breakfast tacos like bigger
Yeah.
than burritos, and
Getting your
it's
money's
a
worth.
breakfast taco. Yeah, oh
For
yeah,
sure.
oh yeah. Um, and it's some of the best quality stuff that you don't really want to know too much about. It just tastes really good. Don't ask very many more questions. It's just better off that way. Um, but San Antonio has a very, very unique community in the sense that um, we're very passionate about the things that we hold near and dear. Obviously, you've probably seen it with, if you watch NBA, the Spurs fans here are very passionate about the Spurs. We, of course, were very passionate about football. I mean, I'm a diehard Packers fan. We're obviously Brahmas fans. We even we support the San Antonio Gunslingers here.
Okay. IFL.
Uh, when it comes to food, we are definitely passionate about that. So that's a big deal for us. Um, and we're literally the biggest small town you can find in America. I know we're number 7 in the country as far as size and everything, but this literally feels like a small town, right? Like uh let's see, well, like a Georgetown, right? Where you pretty much know everybody
Yeah.
around, even
Georgetown
though the city's
is
2.5
pretty.
million people.
I think it's probably the smallest city besides Shreveport I've been in.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Georgetown, I can probably jog
Well,
around Georgetown and be okay.
Well, San Antonio, you can't do that, but you'll know somebody on every single side of town here if you live here. It's crazy how interwoven we all are in each other's lives. I've never seen anything like it anywhere in America. Um, but I think that's one reason why we like San Antonio. I mean, I love going and visiting Austin, but I'd never live there. It's too much for me. There's too much just wildness, if you will. But okay, enough bashing on Austin for a second. Because we'll get back to it later, I promise. Um, so you've got a lot of experience with the different aspects of football, whether it be, running back player, a wide receiver, quarterback, coaching now, all these different things. Um, how would you describe your coaching style? And from a coach's standpoint, what would you think are the most important things for a player to know or do in order to be successful in their career?
Uh, so what I tell even my teammates on my other team that I play for now, um, you have to take this like this is your job. This is your your main career. It's not the NFL, but this is still your day to day career. So for
Mhm.
me, playing so much over the years, I've learned to come like I can't treat it like it's just a game. Or I mean, it's a game, but again, it's my career. So I think that's the biggest thing I can come to bring for the players.
Excellent. And as far as your coaching style, um, are you allowed in your face kind of coach? Are you more, kind of lead with silent authority? Like, what can the players expect to get from you as far as a coach?
Um, well, I'm just now getting my foot in the door, so I'm not really sure what much I can do as far as a coach right now. Besides, with the quarterbacks, as of right now, I can just bring my experience to them and show them the game.
Okay, so more kind of a lead by
Yeah,
example kind of guy.
like I'm gonna be more active
Okay.
on the field with the players. instead of sideline just sitting there. I'm not saying that's what the rest of the coaches do. I'm just saying as far as I'm gonna do.
No, no. So one thing I've seen that is extremely helpful, especially at this level, because no offense to the pros or anything like that, but once you get to that level, they don't really have time to connect with you on those personal levels. You're expected to have a certain level of knowledge and hustle and whatever else. And it's up to you to bring your A game every single day. They'll help you fine tune it, but they don't have time. They've got, 52 guys, or I'm sorry, 53 guys on the roster and another what, 10 on the practice squad. They don't have time to do that kind of, personal connections. That's where leagues such as the Continental Football League or the UFL or whatever kind of comes into play a little bit better because that's a good transition for a lot of these kids that, went from college, went undrafted, maybe got picked up by a pro team, didn't make the roster. Nobody really there to help them kind of refine their game to get to that next level. That's where you guys get to step in and kind of help nurture that talent along,
Right.
right? Give them some extra pointers, give them some extra time, help them kind of sharpen it up. And more importantly, you can teach them. And this is, I'm stealing a page from Wade Phillips's playbook because we absolutely loved having Wade as our coach and talking to him, even though when he was the coach of the Houston Roughnecks, we roasted that man.
We don't talk about
And
that.
thank
All right,
God
he's
he
our
didn't.
friend now.
He's our friend. Right. Coach Phillips from the very beginning had said he's not just here to make players better players. He's here to make them better
Right.
people. So he's teaching them life lessons, right? Like how to handle their finances, how to, identify trouble and stay away from it, things like that, right? That's where guys like you can step in and do the same thing, right? Um, so, and I believe I said this to Mike Kelly and a couple of the other guys. Um, I highly encourage you guys to keep doing that because you're not just developing football players, you're developing
Right.
young men. This is the next generation, right? BD and I, we're getting to be the old cats. So
Speak for
we're getting to the
yourself,
point
dude.
where BD, you got more gray hair than me. If I shaved this, nobody'd even know.
Take the hat off. See, that's why you cut so short on the sides.
Look, look, none. Shut your
big on the
mouth.
side.
Shut your mouth.
It's there. Don't lie.
Oh, please, man. You got more snow on your roof than I don't know. But I had something and I lost it. Anyways, we're getting to the point where, our mentoring and everything is, I don't want to say necessarily done. But we've got our little group of people that we are
Right.
mentoring, and that's it. Guys like you that are in that transitional phase that are still connected to the young folks and still connected to us old farts, right? You can take our wisdom, refine it, package it up, and give it to these younger cats, and get something from it for yourself, of course. But then you get to give it to the younger guys also, and then you get to be that guy that they look up to for the rest of their
Right.
careers, right? Hey, Coach Ellison taught me, these 5 fundamental things that I did that completely changed my game. Or, Coach Ellison had a private talk to me when I was going through a really hard time, personal matter in my life, and gave me some real sound advice and got me back on the straight and narrow, right? So those are the things that I'm excited about for you and for this league, that you guys get to have those opportunities to make young men great, right? And I think that's extremely important for us as a society. Not that I'm getting on a soapbox here, going off on a tangent, but I think it's important for young men to have that mentorship and that leadership outside of their biological family structure. Like they need somebody to look up to and somebody to
Right.
follow. And if you have someone such as yourself that's setting good examples and giving good life lessons, that encourages them to follow in those same steps, to then do the same for more young men when they get into that position, right? And the system just keeps feeding itself, and we produce better and better generations of young men, right? So I'll get off my moral sandbox or soapbox now. But we talked about it. You kind of highlighted it a little bit, and this is one thing that I'm very interested in because I'd really like to know what your plan is to pull this off. But I read your interview from the Shady Sports Network. Great interview, by the way. Um, and they had mentioned, just like as you had earlier, that you have intentions to play, but you have intentions to coach, and you're trying to kind of transition
Right.
into that. Um, how are you planning on pulling that off? And how do you think that's going to help you with your evolution of knowledge of the game overall?
Um, well, the league that I'm playing in this coming season, we're actually going to camp at the end of this month. Our season ends before we start camp with Texas, so I'll be able to fly back out on time, come in into camp, and I think it'll help as far as the league I'm playing in now is a more developed league, a developed league. So I can be able to bring that professional experience into with me to help the younger guys come in.
So what
Excellent.
league are you playing in, and what
Excuse
like
me.
what team are you with?
I'm gonna be in Wyoming with the Wyoming Cavalry in the American Indoor Football League.
Okay, nice.
We, we are familiar with them. We did have a Texas team in there at one point, and again, because we're Texans
Right.
talking football, we try and cover all things football that are connected to Texas, whether it be high school, college, pro, indoor, whatever, but all the way up, right? So we're definitely familiar with the AIF. I think, in fact, wasn't that where the Gunslingers, or no, Gunslingers started out originally with the
Yeah.
NAL,
No,
Yep.
then
no,
moved to the IFL.
AAL.
the AAL originally, then NAL, and then now IFL.
Right.
Yeah, when we were playing
There
at
you
the
go.
Rose Palace or whatever, that was the AAL.
That
Mm,
was the first season. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I
yeah,
have
we've
my
got stories
where's
about
my
that.
uh, my little gunslingers can for the AAL.
It's on it.
Ron, I know you remember.
Uh-huh.
It's we have to tell you that story off the air. That one's too bad. I can't share it here. Um, but okay, so obviously you have connections, you have experience with indoor football and everything. What is your connection to your quarterback, Jeremy Hunt? Because as we found out, he was the quarterback for the Corpus Christi
Hmm.
Tritons. Did you play against him? Do you have what were your connections
That
there?
was his first season last year. I think that was last year, I believe, or it might have been the year before. I'm not sure. But I did talk to him. Yes, actually, I talked to him yesterday for the first time. Try to bond with him, see his play style, and what he's looking at and coming in as our QB. Um, I'm not sure. I think when he played with them, they were in the AIF, so it's the same league. Um, and again, I looked at his film. He's a pretty solid QB too, so I'm definitely excited for that.
Yeah, he was very fortunate to escape Corpus before last
Yeah,
year's
I heard about that
fiasco
one too.
Yeah,
with
that was terrible.
yeah, it was bad. Um, but I do like Jeremy's energy level, his commitment to his craft. He's a very consummate professional, and I'm sure you probably have already found that out just from talking to him the first time. Um, I think you guys have one hell of a quarterback, man. That's one thing that the rest of the teams need to be on notice about. With a good QB coach and a good QB, that's a dangerous combination that the rest of us are going to have to figure out how to
Most
deal with.
definitely.
And with his experience with arena ball, when you guys do the continental shift in the fourth quarter, rather, he's going to be able to be used to that faster
Hmm.
pace. And I don't know that there's a lot of quarterbacks that are going to have that advantage, right? Unless you pick up somebody who's got indoor experience, the game is not as fast,
Right.
right? And we know that that Continental shift, that game's going to be quick. You only get 3 downs, crazy stuff like that. So you're going to have a quarterback that's going to have to be able to think on his feet and
Right.
hustle.
I think he got it.
So I want to ask, with
Excellent.
your year you played in the CFL, you're familiar with the rules. So when they do the Continental shift, you've kind of got a inside track on explaining the differences to the guys.
Right.
So how does that work for you? It just kind of, just increases your value as a coach.
I definitely think it'll help me bring them the knowledge of how it goes. So a lot of them was confused on the new rules, So for us to go in camp and having someone coaching with that experience definitely is gonna help them get the knowledge down.
Excellent.
And of course, with
Excellent.
the quarterback that we have as well, he should. I think it's all gonna come together pretty good.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I believe you. I think the Toros are definitely going to have their hands full dealing with the Texas Syndicate for sure. So let me ask you this, kind of switching off of kind of the trajectory you're going with your career and everything. Who is your NFL team?
Right now it's the Saints. I'm from Louisiana, so I'm always, Saints, Pelicans. Of course, I do vouch for the Cowboys only because they gave me that, that opportunity to come in. But mainly the Saints.
Sadly. Your heart's with the Saints is what I'm hearing. That's all right.
Yeah, that's okay. Again, I've lived in Texas most of my life, and I'm a diehard Green Bay fan. I tell everybody because it's a source of pride for me, but I own one share in the team, exactly one share, which means absolutely nothing to anybody outside of the Packers fandom. But I'm that crazy guy. I'm that committed that I'm going to give my hard-earned money to the team, even after giving them hard-earned money, just to show that I'm on board with it. Same with the tattoo stuff like that. Like for us, this is more than just fandom. Like this is football. This is a big deal for us. Okay, so we know who your team is. Who were your football idols growing up? Like who did you try and pattern your game?
Definitely Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush was I want to say probably my biggest idol coming up playing football. I wanted the Honey Badger as well, even though I play offense, but yeah, so my two biggest players right there.
That's two pretty good idols to have. What about Barry Sanders? You got to know a little something about Barry Sanders.
Barry's ancient to youngins, like
Yeah, that time period, yes. But I didn't grow up, I didn't go on YouTube and type in, Sanders or T.O. or anything like that. It was more Reggie Bush, even what's his name? He played for the Houstons. I forgot his name.
Not Hopkins.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Hopkins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's one of the only receivers to go a season with 0 drop passes. So that was a big thing, and after that I kind of started watching him a lot.
Yes, he's with Baltimore now, isn't? Or is he? No, he was with the Rams.
Titans, I thought.
Right now,
I can't remember who he's with right now.
Man, I thought he was with the Rams. I thought he got injured kind of one of the last games of this past season. But I'm gonna look it up right now.
Well, while you're looking that up, there is one gentleman that I was very excited for because he was on the Packers squad, and then he went over. There you go. This gentleman went over to the dark side, hurt me to the core. But that would be one Mr. Aaron Jones, I believe it was. Right? He's UTEP kid, which UTEP has not really been known for being a powerhouse school when it comes to football. And to see somebody go to UTEP and get on the main stage like he did and make that much of a difference in Green Bay, I was actually pulling for him when he went over to Minnesota. Looked like he's run into some struggles, but that whole Minnesota thing is just kind of a
Right.
fiasco with, injuries and problems with the O line, and it's hard for a running back to get going. You know this, right? It's hard for a running back to get going when they have nobody blocking for him. So I'm hopeful they get that fixed and he can get his career back on track and start putting up those big numbers again. Except against us, I don't want him to get any
Who
positive yardage against us.
who is the quarterback? I forgot his name. They even just made a movie about him. I know he played for the Iowa Barnstormers before.
The Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner, yes,
Kurt
that's
Warner?
probably that's another player I forgot to mention. He's definitely definitely an eye for me.
I really enjoyed that movie. That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie actually. Yeah.
So it's funny that you mentioned that. That is part of the inspiration for this
Mhm.
show because we're trying to find the next Kurt Warner just for the simple fact of documenting history happening,
Right.
right? Kurt Warner's story is very unique in the sense that, he basically went undrafted, forgotten about, was in a grocery store. Somebody happened to, think about him and pick him up. He got a chance to reignite his career, went on to be a Hall of Fame guy. Granted, this is all the time before internet and vidcasts like ours and stuff like that. So you had, sports writers and stuff capturing it, but it's all kind of after the
Right.
fact. What we're hoping to do is find an individual such as yourself or one of the other players and document that whole career. Hopefully from high school. Chances are we'll know about him, but we're probably not going to catch him that early. But hopefully we can find that next guy who basically uh, is written off by the league as Mr. Inconsequential, gets an opportunity, blows it up, and looks back at all the people that doubted him when he's accepting his Hall of Fame award and says, I told you not to count me out. And we can be in the back saying, yeah, we know that guy,
Right.
So it's just funny that you were saying that. Now, real quick, I've got to switch gears for just a second. Our friends over at SA Snap Count have just given us some late breaking news. It's a hint towards something, but it looks like there may or may not be coming out, or may or may not be some news coming out about some coaching positions in the next day or so. So I can't give away too much more. All I can really say is make sure that you're looking at SA Snap Count and the Toros pages, whether it be X, Facebook, whatever, to see what that announcement is going to
Right.
be. And I'm being told that it's something that's really going to get the fan base excited. So you're going to have to hang on. That's all I can say. But now let's go back to you, Mr. Ellison.
So I have a question real quick. You said kind of in your history of playing, you played, quarterback, running back, wide receiver. So what would you rather do? Run for a touchdown, catch a touchdown, or throw for a touchdown?
When it comes to arena, I'd rather do either receiver or quarterback, but mainly receiver. I would say receiver is my main position.
So that arena is
Excellent.
100-yard field, is that different? I mean, or is it still you'd rather catch a touchdown?
Receiver for everything.
For all of them? Okay.
Yeah. But quarterback, it would be arena.
Okay. Very cool.
I can see that. So real quick, I believe one of your fans is on our Instagram feed. A Macy Too Saucy said, "Let's go Ellison #syndicates." So one of your friends, I'm sure, is giving you a shout out. If not, you've got a fan. So there you go. Hopefully one of these days, Brian and I will have somebody that cheers for us. But
hey,
we'll get there
we
eventually.
got a few guys. Here's Marco saying hi to us.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
our friend from the. Is it Dallas? Is it Frisco? It's certainly not Arlington.
Not Arlington
but
anymore. It's
from
Dallas,
Renegades
but technically
fan base.
Frisco. I mean, And then we got this guy.
Oh, this guy. That's our friend who's inked just like I am, different spot. But he's a Vikings fan. Don't hold it against him though. He'll be okay.
We got our boy Hama over here.
Yes. ¿Qué pasó, hermano? And then there's this guy, Mr. Predator, who's part of the Houston, I guess, gamblers,
rough gamble necks. I don't know.
Gamblers, gamble necks. We don't know what their team is called. But they're friends of ours also. So you can see, right? We are definitely, we made a lot of connections through the
We have
UFL,
like 5 friends. They're all in the chat.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we got. But we hope to bring that same energy to the COFL, and we warned you about it off air before the show, but it's only fair that we say it again on the air, so we have it documented that we warned you in advance. But BD and I, do you know anything about a show called The Muppets? It's from a long time ago. It's like 1970s.
Yeah, I know about it. Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the 2 old guys that sat up in the balcony that always talk trash?
That's us.
That's me and this guy. That's 100% us. Okay. So please don't take it personally. We're not going to get personal. We're not going to insult your family, your friends. We don't do things like that. We're going to make fun of the mistakes that you make, and we're going to get under your skin that way. But we are going to talk trash because we are passionate and adamant about supporting our team.
That's just football, though.
But it's during the game. That is 100% football. So think of the same energy level that the Philadelphia Eagles fans have without the vulgarity and without the obscenities, right? So we are definitely going to be talking trash. We're going to get under your skin. We're going to annoy the heck out of you. BD and I, to this day, still hold the record, as we talked about before, for having the most players upset at 2 fans.
I don't know if we hold the record. I mean,
yes, we do.
We didn't get punched like the dude, the Panthers fan the Battle Chicken fan by the Panthers player, or I guess by DK Metcalf a couple weeks ago. But
that's different though. That was a one-on-one situation. We've gotten several. Okay, there's one person specifically, and he actually just retired last year. Broke our hearts. But there was a defensive player with the last name Bellamy, played for DC. Because we were in the same league, we had interactions with him for 3 years, so 6 games. And what started it all was him coming out one game and telling everybody, you'll be home in 15 minutes.
It's like the first quarter of the game. Yeah. They went down and scored a touchdown and be like, hey, y'all going to go home in 15 minutes. So
that first interaction basically set the tone for every interaction we've had since then with him. We actually wound up winning that game. And so the next time we played them, we actually were over in DC. We're like, hey, Bellamy, how long is it going to be tonight? And he instantly saw us and knew us because we were jaw-jacking with him that entire game. He was like, oh, crap. They came all the way over here, right? That's the kind of energy that you're going to have to expect from us. So, I mean, I don't want to give away too much, right? Because we don't want to reveal our game plan, just like you don't want to reveal yours as a quarterback coach. But just know that we're going to be there, and we're going to be chirping, and we're going to be in your guys' ear. Okay? So, if you need to do something to prepare for that, totally understand, but just know that we're going to be there. And then after the game, if you guys win, we'll be the first ones to say, hey, you know what? Congratulations, right? Because as passionate as we are, we also respect the effort and the talent and everything that goes into you guys being professional football players. So we may talk trash, but we're going to respect you guys at the end of the game. And if we win, we're not going to rub it in. We're going to be like, hey, great game. You guys played hard. Maybe you'll get us next time, something like that. So, Now that I've said that, though, that brings up a question in my mind, and you mentioned it before. Have you ever had an experience in your career? Because you talked about how, you know, there's obnoxious fans in Canada and stuff like that. Have you ever had a situation where a fan pushed you almost to that limit, to where you wanted to say something, but you obviously you knew better? Because I would have heard something on, the research I did about you. I'd have heard something about you doing something silly like
Uh,
that. But have you had a situation? What was it? Talk to us
I
about
don't think I ever had a moment where I had a fan push me. I kind of stay away from the fans. Now arena football is a little different because you're there, but um, I mean, there's been a time I didn't get physical with a fan, but there was a fan that grabbed my dreads during the game.
it.
Um, I was playing with the Georgia Firebirds in the NAL, and we were playing the Columbus Lions. I do remember that game, and I couldn't. It happened so quick. I couldn't picture what fan it was. It was just a wall full of fans. So I can't say what I said that game, but you know, um, but
Was it
I
were you like kind of against the wall like on the play, or what was the context? Or
It was a end zone. It was supposed to be an end zone touchdown, but when the fan grabbed my dreads, when I looked back, the DB smacked the ball out of my hand, and I
Mm.
didn't know which fan it was, but
oh
yeah,
geez.
Yeah, see, and that's not cool. That is the kind of stuff that we don't tolerate. Like you can harass, you can whatever. You don't put hands on people. And in fact, um, I don't remember where it was. I think what I posted it on our TTF Facebook page. Um, there was a player that jumped into the stands in Green Bay, right? You know about the Lambeau Leap. Everybody knows about that.
yeah,
Um, this player jumped in because there were some of his fans that were there in the stands, and a Packers fan actually tried to shove that guy out of the stands. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. You don't put hands on players. You do not touch them. I don't care how upset you get. Like, that's over the line. And
right,
you put hands on them, you cross that line, they can beat the crap out of you. That's my thought, right? Just like we were talking about the fan that got slapped in the UFL for spitting at one of the Michigan players.
yeah. I seen that one.
That's
Yeah,
assault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's assault. You cross that line, you brought it on yourself.
all right.
You know, like we've talked a ton of trash. We've gotten several people fired up. We had one guy invite us out
I've had
to
players get in my face, but we talking trash is one thing, but you don't put your
Mhm.
hands on somebody.
No, no. And so again, that part's over the line. And so if those fans that were there that saw that fan grab your dreads, if they didn't call him out, that's on them too, right? Um, because there's no excuse for that kind of behavior, right? Um, but that is interesting that you have that story, right? Because now you have something relatable to tell your players. Hey, if this happens, I understand it's going to be difficult. Don't lose your cool,
All right.
right? Because if you lose your cool, if you get rattled, if you react to that fan, you may do something, get yourself in trouble. But more importantly, it takes your mind out of the game, right? And you lose focus on what you're there for, and you could cost your team, you know,
The
a,
game.
a game, especially like if it's a playoff game. And I I've been in those situations. Thankfully, I've never been the player that has cost my team like a playoff game because I've never, made it that far with a team. Um, but I definitely don't want to be that guy, you know, because imagine you cost your team a playoff game because you can't control yourself because somebody, put their hands on you, right? That that's just crazy. Um, but okay. Um, what else do we have to talk about? So we covered your career, your experience with arena football, pro football, Canadian football. down in Mexico, um, which I got to say, just that part alone is a very interesting story that you
Yeah.
got experience all over the place with football. Um, what what is your ultimate career goal with all of this? What do you plan to do? What do you want to do?
Um, I mean, at one point, everybody's goal is to NFL,
Mhm.
UFL, or even Canadian Football League. I'm not really focused on that aspect. So right now, I guess you could say my main goal is to, get the coaching career started. I'd like to move up in coaching as well, whether it's to college, UFL, even arena, just to expand my experience.
Excellent.
Now,
So
if I
you
if
want
I
to
do
stay
get
involved
called
in
up to
football though
back,
for the
I'll
rest of your
definitely
career.
say that again.
I was saying you want to stay involved in football for the rest of your working
Yes,
career.
as long as it's football, I'm there. Now, if I do get
Excellent.
that call up again, then of course I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna say no for NFL or UFL. So
Okay. Well, um, if you do get called up, hopefully it's not by the Cowboys because they're America's worst team. But I'm sorry. That's that's that sass. Um, but we're definitely excited to see your career develop as a player, as a coach, as however. Um, we do wish you nothing but the best of luck. But come game day, right? Be ready because we're going to be
all
giving
right,
you
You'll
guys a
see
little
you'll
bit of
see
sass.
us and you'll hear us for sure on game day. So
Oh yeah,
I'll definitely be ready.
just don't get mad at us and come say hi to us after the game. That's all we ask.
yeah. So okay, we're about at the top of the hour, so we're probably going to go ahead and start shutting it down here. But we always want to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to share their socials, build their fan base, all that good stuff. So why don't you share with our audience your socials, your Twitter, your Facebook, your MySpace, whatever you guys use.
MySpace. That's why.
That's me. That's my joke.
um, am I able to type it in, or is it just
I if you can access the chat, you can definitely put it in there. I
Yeah,
don't
can
know
you
what
put
it's
it? Is
like on the
there
mobile
is there
side.
the type of message on the chat side? I don't know.
mm,
If not, you can just if you want to say it and then you can send it to us and we can put it in the chat as well. So
yeah, okay. Well, you can definitely add me on Instagram. Follow me on there. It's AE the greatest, and that's DA greatest 01. Facebook is Anthony Ellison. I have two pages, but you'll see which one's active most. And you just type in Anthony Ellison for that one. And definitely follow the Texas Syndicates as well. Um, we're definitely looking for more fans and everybody to come out to the games.
Yes. And I will say that we have some friends that live around the Austin area. We're definitely trying to get them, well, I'm trying to get them involved. They
Mm.
were pretty big fans in the UFL. They're still involved with the UFL, even though we've kind of lost a team. Um, but I'm trying to encourage them to get involved. So you may see um, a gentleman dressed up like a frat boy with his lovely wife dressed up in a one-piece jumper uniform with horns, and it's going to be yellow and black, and she's going to be all sparkled out and blinged out and all that great stuff. If you see them, don't worry, we vouch for them. They're good
they're
people.
good people.
But that's going to be Brahma Bro and Brahma Babe. Um, excellent super fans from the UFL. I think having them on board would bring some really good energy to the COFL and to your fan base. But they're probably going to be a little bit neutral because they're not quite Austin, they're not quite San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of somewhere in between. Um, but yeah, again, we're supporting this league because first and foremost, it's football in Texas. But second of all, I believe in the vision. I believe in the goal of this. And I really think that, especially with the buy-in from the fans, this is a viable product. And we just need the fans to know about it. We need the fans to support it. And so we're going to do our part to try and get the word out.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so folks, make sure you follow Anthony Ellison on Instagram, on Facebook. We've typed it in there. Make sure you're following Texas Syndicate. You can follow Quincy Workman as well, Texas Syndicate. And we'll definitely be checking in with you later on in the season. And you can
Absolutely.
let the fans know how second place is treating you because the San Antonio Toros will be in first place the entire season. So
I got you. We're definitely looking for that.
excellent. All right, Anthony,
All
we're
right,
gonna go
Anthony.
ahead and
Well,
let you
hey,
go.
we'll see you at the first game that we play against each other. So it was
Yes, sir. I'll
great
be there.
talking to you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Excellent. Anthony, have a great night, man. God bless.
Have a
Take
good one,
care.
man.
You too, guys. Thank you.
Take it easy.
Okay, folks. So that was Anthony Ellison, player, quarterback coach, running back, receiver, all around football guy. Like I said at the beginning of the show, this gentleman has plenty of football knowledge and experience. He's played in 3 different countries now, basically covered the entire North American continent. And I cannot wait to see what he brings to the table as far as coaching experience and just how he refines their quarterback there, who Jeremy in and of himself is a pretty exciting athletic individual. So I can't wait to see what happens when they bring those two forces together. So that being the case, BD, thank you for hanging out with me tonight,
Of
talking
course.
some Continental football. Fans, we appreciate you guys coming on. XFL Mike G, I know you're out there somewhere. You're probably busy watching some college playoff football. But our friends over at the AFN and the X Fan show, I know Jason Spurgeon is actually in Dallas right now for the college showcase, I believe it is. Um, and this weekend, we're actually going to have the high school all-star game here in San Antonio. So we'll probably be checking in with some updates from that. Um, but it's playoff weekend, right?
Dude, it's 4 straight playoff games starting tonight. I got it on right here. Miami and Ole Miss. Tomorrow we got Indiana and mine went blank. Who's Indiana playing? Who's the other team on there?
Is it going to matter? Because Indiana's going to be the national champs.
Possibly. My mind just went freaking blank. I can't believe it. I forgot who Indiana's playing. But then we got
That's all right.
that's tonight, Friday night. Then Saturday, Sunday, we got NFL football. Playoff football 4 days in a row.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'll tell you in a second. But guys, thank you again so much. One thing we forgot to plug, you see that little QR code up in the corner? That's a link to our merchandise store. We really need to start pushing that more. If you guys are a fan of the show, if you love what we're doing here, please feel free, scan that QR code, check out some of our merch. We're going to try and introduce some new stuff because we have a new logo and everything. But definitely, your support of the show is definitely appreciated. We are also looking for sponsors. So if you know of anybody that we can pitch to, we would love those ideas. But again, we're here for the next month. We're going to be covering all of our normal Texans talking football stuff, but then also we're going to be bringing in special guests and everything, usually on Thursdays, for the Texans talking Continental football, because that is the newest thing, latest and greatest, and it's a direct connection to San Antonio, and we want to make sure that we're showing our San Antonio pride. So that being the case, guys, watch some football, have some fun, smoke a brisket, smoke a cigar, smoke whatever. Like that's your thing. Just have some fun watching football. All right. Suck it, Chicago. We'll see you guys on
Like the Eagles.
Tuesday.